Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. Today in this session we are going to talk about another very important attribute of form tag, which is autocomplete. Okay, so mainly we are going to discuss what is autocomplete attribute, why do we need that in HTML forms, what are the benefits if we are utilizing this autocomplete attribute in the form. Okay, along with this I will also explain you the syntax and the structure of the attribute that we are supposed to follow in order to utilize this autocomplete attribute. Okay, and in the end of this session we will also verify the output, and I'll also show you what are the default value for this autocomplete attribute. Okay, so I think now we are good to start the session, but before that I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for now we are just focusing on the autocomplete attribute, but prior to that we have also covered various other important attributes like we have discussed method, action, right? So these are also the important topics. Okay, so I think now we can start, and as usual there are some questions for all of you in the session. So here you can see today's question is, why do we use target attribute in HTML form? Although like target attribute assignment is given by me for the multiple time, because this is very important topic and I don't want that anyone are still confused in this. So that's why I'm repeating this question frequently, so that you can at least practice about this topic, which is target attribute. Okay, and there should not be any kind of confusion. So that's the only aim of mine. Okay, alright, so I think now we are good to start the session. So here you can see we have just noted down the basic HTML code, which shows one title showing Sharmit and one heading which is HTML by Sharmit, along with one page one heading. If you want you can remove that. Okay, no problem. Okay, so let me show you the output of this. So if I save this code and refresh my browser, it is coming like this: HTML by Sharmit. Okay, now what we are going to learn about, we are going to learn about the, let me put the comment here, we are going to learn about autocomplete attribute of form tag. Okay, autocomplete attribute of form tag. So this is the main topic. Now for this we need one form, so let's create the basic form, and I'm pretty much sure that all of you know about the form, because this is the thing that we are using for many of the sessions from last couple of sessions. So I think now you all know what is form and how we can create it. So to create the form we will just use this form opening and closing tag, and now I will put one button here because I want to create a button. So I'll just put it like this. In this button we will put the name and the type of this button. So let's put here as submit. Now we will put the type is by default is also submit, but still it's better to put the type so that others can directly see from the code that what type of button you are using. After that we are going to create some input fields. So let's add the input field like this. So I'll simply write here input. In input we will write what? Type would be in input we will put firstly the text type, and name would be username. It's not mandatory to always put it username, I always put it username, but you can put anything. Then after name we will write here placeholder. In placeholder we will write what? We will write username. Okay, now what we will do, we will add another input field here. So I'll write simply one more input field, and this time I'm going to use the type as email. I think this should be after this. Let me just change the position. I want to keep it as after this. Okay, it is not mandatory, but I just want to go in that way. So I just write input type email, name would be email itself, and placeholder is also email. Clear? So we just added this thing. Now you can save this code and refresh your browser. So you can see we have two fields. One is accepting username, second one is accepting email. So right now if I try to key in something, you can see it is showing me some auto completion, right? If I am writing A, it is suggesting me ABC, small ABC, okay, Amit and all. So what it means, likewise it will do for the email as well. If I try to write AM, it will show me all those. So these are the pre-defined value, or not defined, these are the pre-used value. Okay, so whenever we submit the form, it saves that data as a temporary in a temporary memory, and when you try to key in something here, it will auto complete that. So same thing we are going to learn, like why it is happening. So it is happening because the by default autocomplete value is on. So if your autocomplete value is on, that means user can get the suggestion for all those input field that he or she is using on the fold in the form, and these suggestions are coming from your previously used value. Okay, like if I talk about mine, so I have used these values previously in previous few sessions, so that's why it is showing that. Okay, fine. But can we submit the form right now? Let me put it like this, amit@gmail.com, then click on submit. So you can see it is submitting on the same page, but I want to navigate it to somewhere else. So for that, as we always do, we will write here tspgm10 in action, and now we will apply the autocomplete. So autocomplete, now you can see there are two possible value, one is on and one is off. So if I go with on, what will happen? Will it change anything? No, it will not. Why? Because the by default value is also on. So you can see when I type A here, it is still suggesting me the names. Okay, what will happen? Let's say if I remove this one from here. Now if I refresh my web browser, so and after writing A, it is showing only these things. Okay, so you can cross it. Let's say if there is a value which you don't want to show in future, so you can cut it from here, but still you can see these values are suggesting. So these suggestions are coming from autocomplete attribute. So if your autocomplete attribute is on, it will show those changes, suggestions. Okay, but in case if your autocomplete is off like this, so what it will do now, if you try to key in something here, it will not suggest anything, neither for name nor for Gmail address or email address. Clear? In fact, if I submit this, you can see data has been submitted. If I refresh my browser and still try to write the same thing, it is not suggesting it. Why? Because this is not allowed. I have turned off the autocomplete. Okay, so I think now it is clear that whenever you want to show suggestions to user, in that case you can utilize autocomplete as on. But if you don't want to use if you don't want to show suggestion to user, then in that case you can keep the autocomplete as off. Now if I talk about the interview question, so in interview question you might be asked with one question like what is the default value for autocomplete. So you can simply say the default value of autocomplete is on, okay, not off. And when you specify it as off, then in that case it will stop suggesting the things. So these are the only two possible values that we can specify for the autocomplete tag. Now if you want to read more about it, you can simply take your mouse cursor here and you can see it is showing all information. If I talk about the possible values, so you can read it that off, the user must explicitly enter a value into each field for every use. Okay, every use or the document provide its own auto completion method. The browser does not automatically complete entries. Okay, so in this case it will not automatically complete the things, but if the value is on, the browser can automatically complete the values based on the values that the user has provided or that the user has previously entered in the form. Okay, and if I show you one more thing, like if it is on, and now if I write something, let's say if I write A, and when I take my cursor here, you can see it is automatically filling the values. So this is called autofilling or autocomplete. So from here I can simply select the value and then I can submit it, so it will take that value. Clear? So this is how we can utilize the autocomplete attribute in HTML form I hope this session is clear to all of you. Now I request you to please do share knowledge for this question in the comment section. Those who will provide consistent correct answer will be spotlighted in the upcoming session. So yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.